So I definitely want to see what this can do, especially against such a fierce competitor like Ra1n, who's obviously on the Petra, you know, a tried and true classic for him. He loves his gauntlets and whatnot. But here we go, getting to match number 1 on the Small World's end.
Yep, we got Ra1n starting off strong, getting a couple of those gauntlets. It's no big strings yet, but he's just trading he's just trading positive here. He's not getting hit back that much, and he's just getting hit after hit after hit. Hector E rather trying to fight back, but they're just getting pushed further and further off stage. Ra1n just off the right side, going for the ground pound, not gonna connect. Good dodge there, and a bit of a punish. 3 hits coming out, answered by neutral. Neutralize swaps over to Yo for the better KO potential. Looking for the Sayer. That's it. Onyx have heavy defense, hard to KO, and they're gonna hold on for a bit more. Looking for the Gauntlet Mirror, but no. Ground pound, recovery takes it, and we're going into stock number 2 for Eve. What can they do here?
You know, I think this comes down a little bit to the struggles of Cannon as a 1v1 weapon, like I was saying earlier. It's definitely 2v2's weapon. Right now, he's trying to find openings, trying to get the down airs, for example. That's a really good way to get openings. But the problem is, Ra1n knows exactly where to keep himself in order not to get hit by the down airs. And look at that double ground pound. That is definitely good. No, wait, I'm wrong. That's not a KO. Able to find his way back. Eve doing well right now, but still has quite a deficit to make up. Good inlight right there. Okay, that was really nicely placed. Got to bring things to an even stock count, but still the damage is rather differing. And once again, that's going to be a disarm there. The pickup with the orb, very nicely done. Ra1n is probably going to get KO there. Yep, and that's going to be once again a really good lead for Ra1n in game number 1.
Yeah, a bit of an attempt for Eve to go for that offstage play, go for that downlight unarmed, punished by Ra1n. Fortunately, too far gone that stock for Eve, but they're looking to make something out of this. They're looking to get some sort of string start on the cannon. Ra1n dodging out of it, expert, but we're still going. We're still taking hits. Ground pound not connecting. That's a big neutral sig. GC'd off the side. And Ra1n is looking to finish this. No read, but the night neutral sig once again repeat. It takes him out off the top. That's a dominating first game to start from Ra1n.
Most definitely. Those, I don't know. His gauntlets are just on fire. He always knows exactly where to be. He's always on top of his opponent. You can't really escape. He's always going to be there to hit you with a nair to pull you down. Maybe an inlight to push you further off stage. But no matter what it is, he's always there with the right option. And that's what makes Ra1n so scary. And as you can see, well, actually, I don't know if you can see this, but Eve is now pulling out the 7. So I talked about this at the beginning of this set that I had saw before. Eve is definitely more on this, 7 side, and I think she's actually a really good legend. Definitely an underused one, so I'm excited to see what this might do. But still, Ra1n has been a bit of a dark force here, so I'm not sure if it's going to make too much of a difference, but who knows? We'll see. Get it again, number 2, same map.
I think that spear is really gonna help Eve, keep that distance, keep Ra1n at bay. And already we're seeing some good stuff coming out of it. Dashes back, looks for the downlight, not gonna connect, but still getting good hits in. Weapon throw to get him off. Sayer as well, and that's the downstick coming out. Not gonna connect, but it's a good bit of threat put out there. Eve really making sure that Ra1n respects his space, respects the amount of area that he can cover with those SIGs. And looking for the end sig on the cannon, not gonna connect either. But that's a big punish with an air. GC, no dodge for Ra1n, and gets it back. Finally goes down on the ground, and that's gonna be a big punish. That's gonna be a KO. That's gonna be stock 1, going the way of Eve.
Yep, and as you can see, Eve is going to be picking up the cannon, propping 1 up as well. Although I think that the spear might actually be a really good choice, especially against the gauntlets. I feel that spear is a really good counter, having a large hitbox, able to space out your opponent when they're nearby. With the nair, obviously, you can use things like the end light to prod your opponent away and build up that damage. So I don't know if going to the cannon is necessarily the best idea, but at the same time, that's obviously Eve's main weapon, so who knows. But right now, trying to get the D-sig that might have actually hit, but Ra1n was prepared for it, able to dodge out of the way and get that side air. Very nicely done. Now picking up the gauntlets once again. That's been more of his main weapon so far, swapping only to the orb for those KO confirms. Now, Eve, what's he tries to go for the D-sig? Hasn't really been working out so far. Tries to get a side sig in there instead, but it works well as a bait. Almost got that nair as well. Double nair to almost get the KO. Once again, trying to get these KOs confirms with the D-sig. It's not really working out too well so far, but still the damage is working out a lot in his favor. That's gonna be a KO. Yeah, it is.
And those ground pounds as well, putting out threats. As I said, not not necessarily connecting, but making sure that Ra1n is on his toes, making sure that he's wary of all of these options that this cannon has. Clearly the comfort pick for Eve, and the little dodge read is humongous. That's gonna be 5 hits, I'm pretty sure. Recovery does not connect, but it's so much damage already. Ra1n barely getting back, already in the orange, getting pushed off stage, side stick for spacing, and Eve is just looking to close this out here and now, it seems, or pushing him off stage, and that's gonna be a good second side air. But Ra1n is so damaged.
Yeah, this is going to take quite the comeback here, but still, Ra1n is definitely one to do it. But that ground pound right there, sitting about pretty far in the air, that's how you know it's about to be a KO. But still, Ra1n has got some life left in him. Let's see, Nair's dodged through, but sweat beating. Neither one of them can really get a hit right now. Waiting on the other to try and do something first. Hex putting in the wrong direction. Yeah, that's going to cost big, but still that D-lane in Nair, that's so close to KOing, but not yet. Ra1n is kind of getting closer. Oh no! He gets the double read, the double recovery. That's really close, both of them now, and the KO percentage. This is bad for both of them. They're waiting around, obviously, even throwing up these ground pounds to try and space out the opponent. Ooh, that was really, really close. Ra1n just keeping on a chain. Nice GC sidelight into the side air, and that is going to be an amazing comeback from Ra1n. Now 2-0 in the set.
This is so tragic for Eve. That's all of the momentum, all of the wind out of their sails gone. Just snatched away, not being able to finish off that stock so long that Ra1n was in the red so long that Eve could not find a finisher. And that's just gonna be everything, I feel like. They need to bounce back really heavily here, or else it's just lights out, curtains closed.
Yeah, you know, I was saying that the spear might have done something, but really it was the cannon that whole game that was lighting Ra1n on fire right there. So I don't know at this point. I don't know what Eve is going to choose to try and get himself out of this. I saw a different pick right there. I think that was... Oh, man. Okay, so we're about to get some Master Chief Isaiah action. I'm excited for this, actually. See, I don't know how Eve's blasters are, but I know that blasters are like a top 3 weapon right now, at least. So this could be a good pick, you know, as long as Eve knows how to space out his opponent with the side lights, you know, get those side airs in there, get the KO confirms. Blasters could be a real menace, but at the same time, I don't know. Ra1n has just been on a rampage, especially after that comeback. Like, my goodness.
I mean, I really don't think the spear was that bad. I don't quite get the swap over to blasters. I think it was just a bit of that cannon lacking the KO potential, the KO power, and needing one of those big hits, those Hail Marys to connect at the end, and they just couldn't make it happen. But we'll see how these blasters do, as they have picked up once again, cycling through those weapons very, very quickly, but not achieving anything with them as get side-stick pummeled over to the right side, and like gonna connect as well. And that's gonna be a big lead for Ra1n starting out. That's gonna be the recovery. That's gonna close it out. Nearly a clean stock, barely in the yellow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If Eve does not know how to get those proper openings to the blasters, but still knows how to get them with the cannon, that was a nice piece up right there. As you can see, the damage is starting to get closer and closer to the KO percentage, but still, any amount of damage that Ra1n can get is going to be really, really good for him. Tried to go for the insig finisher right there, but wasn't able to get it. Now Ra1n able to get multiple unarmed hits to try and build up some more damage. There it is, the side light into the Nair, pushing you off stage. But okay, nice end light that will close things out. So still not too far behind. Eve can make this happen. Once again, over onto the cannon.
But it's not the cannon that matters. We know his cannon is good. We know he can do all of it. But he needs the finishers, and blasters are the tool for that. Blasters are, they have those KO options. That's the sider, the D-light into recovery, and it is not connecting. It is nothing that he can do. Bouncing off the side gets him, but this is just tragic here. Honestly, like nothing from the blasters is connecting, and that's what he needs right now. Something big.
That is true. Now trying his luck on the blasters instead, and trying to see if that'll make any difference. Gets a little bit of an inlay opener, but it dodges out of the Nair. And yeah, any amount of damage that Eve manages to get seems to be reciprocated tenfold by Ra1n. As you can see, boom, look at that big combo right there, extended even further, almost that sidelight picking up, but still, look at that damage. That is looking really, really bad. Eve is trying to space out Ra1n properly, but as you can see, Ra1n has been so aggressive on top of Eve, and that's just the downfall right there of Cannon. It doesn't really have anything to protect itself on top. That's why they throw out ground pound so often in the air, because that's really the only way to protect themselves from below. And look at that Ra1n just pummeling with these side airs, almost getting himself a GC instinct just to close things out on the top, but still, look at that. Dodges through the down air. What is Ra1n cooking up? I feel an instinct coming. I don't know why, but I feel it coming at any point now. There it is.
You're so damn smart.
Okay, let's see. Can Eve do it? I mean, got the cannon out. Could do it, but still, finding that KO is really going to be the hardest part.
That's really it, but the KO is more of an afterthought at this point. They gotta start something first before they can finish it, and the cannon is out of their hands, unarmed, into the orb, side air, that's gonna be it.
Yep.
No fanfare, just going out unceremoniously, 3-0.